Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the All Americans Savage Show podcast. I am your host, John Burke. Apologize for not doing the show for the last 2 or 3 days. I was traveling. Went up to Missouri to go be in a best friend's wedding. That was a lot of fun. Dude, I spent so much fucking money. In the studio today, we got my good friend Jason from Grow Your Ass Off, a very near and dear friend, a very amazing business expert. This guy is here to educate, put it this way, the stuff that you go out and pay a lot of money to go listen to these guys giving these feel-good bullshit speeches. Jason actually has actionable content that will help you increase your business revenue. And what I wanted to talk about today was, you've done a lot of, well, first of all, thanks for being here. Appreciate you.
No, I appreciate you having me, and I'm glad we got it started without technical support coming.
Bro, it gets that way sometimes. But no, if you're a small business owner, this is definitely a podcast for you because you should be listening to a lot of the content that he has to put out. And again, if you go and you look up Grow Your Ass Off, that's Jason. Jason scaled this business from nothing into something very just impressive as hell right now. And today's episode, I wanted to focus on, we're seeing a shift. Yep. From Facebook and Instagram advertising, paid ads. They've become insanely expensive. I haven't been able to put any money into that as a business owner because they won't accept CBD products, even though it's federally legal. But what are you seeing in terms of how, because you've done paid advertising, things like that, what are you seeing happening right now?
There's a lot of a shift. Primarily, a lot of the start of it was the iOS update. Mm-hmm. Not really being able to track and see who it is and who it's not. So it's getting more and more expensive, and the data is getting harder and harder to read and keep up with, unless if that's, obviously 100% all you do and you're, a so-called expert in it. But yeah. I've worked with a lot of so-called experts that can't get you a ROAS, a return on ad spend, to save your life. Yeah. So
they will sit there and tell you until they're blue in the face they can.
Right.
Like, I've talked to a bunch of these platforms and they will say, hey, we can get you all this. All right. And then when you actually go through with it, it's like, that's why anytime we start with a new platform or anything like that to run paid advertisements, we go with the lowest cart value possible, to where it's like, okay, we're going to test the waters on this because I'm not throwing you a lot of money just for you to be like, oh, well, it just didn't work.
No, and that was a hard lesson for me, especially last year, right? We scaled to a very good position, mm-hmm. And I decided to pull the trigger and work with one of the best ad agencies that were out there. Had a couple other friends that were utilizing them. They were happy with the results. Starting off, it was great, and then really quickly, they had a lot of personnel change to that, mm-hmm. and then after that point right there, it was just a downhill fall.
Yeah.
So we've had good and bad experiences with it, but mm-hmm. Right now everything's just so expensive, and mm-hmm. rolling into Q4, really the time, if you are going to run paid ads and make it worth your while, it's building your list of contacts mm-hmm. from January until September, because you can't compete on bidding with big time companies like Target and Walmart and mm-hmm. Amazon. It's just unless if you're making a crazy high profit margin, it just doesn't.
Can you explain that in further? Because I get what you're meaning, but I don't think the common or the average person out there that's just starting out in the new business world would understand what you're meaning by that.
Yeah, so like whenever you're running paid advertising, whether it be Meta, we'll just say, because that covers everything, it comes down to a bid depending on how your campaign budget is set up. Mm-hmm. And so, if we're like, hey, we're trying to sell this bottle right here, and we only want to spend, X amount of dollars to be able to get a conversion plus or minus a few percent. Well, you have Target who's selling that same product or a product in a similar category. They're willing to throw a lot more money out there to get that conversion on that. And especially coming into the holidays, that's where all these big time corporations are going to just trample on you.
Right. Seems to be that just kind of like a small business owner doesn't have a shot when they're going to go against companies that have products that are just like, because the thing that pissed me off, like Target, Walmart, things like that, they're retailers. Like a lot of their content is not from them. They're just reselling other people's stuff. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like when they have the ad money to kind of get rid of that product, you're up against a very large financial wave.
And that's where you have to get strategic with it. You know?
And that leads us to what I wanted to talk about, that because I just read a few articles over the weekend about how more and more people are getting away from advertising on Facebook, Instagram, and they're going hardcore into email marketing, which is what you've taught us as far as Klaviyo goes. And now we're seeing more and more people shift to that, because then you don't have to compete against large ad agencies. Now it's literally you're targeting your own list, your own people. You have direct access to the consumer.
Right. Well, I mean, like, that's something, you know, from the get-go is you should be 100% inside of your email and SMS marketing at all points in time, and building a solid structure with that style of marketing, and then dabbling inside of paid ads, different social media campaigns to help build that list. Because what that does is you're going to increase your, the biggest things with business is, right, you want to increase your average order value, so how much a person spends every time they check out, and you want to increase their average order frequency, because that means they're buying from you more and they're buying more from you every time.
Yeah.
And that's how you scale a business very, very fast. So if we can figure that stuff out, so once we've acquired a customer via a purchase, now we can implement that through a consistent, solid email marketing that we're consistently changing along with SMS. And then that allows you to get the revenue and the foundation built to be able to go out and, hey, we're going to, you know, take $5,000 this month and drop it into Facebook, or, you know, hey, we're going to take $10,000 and drop it into YouTube ads and see what this does. One of the things that we did, knowing that, you know, rolling into Q4, paid advertising is just stupid expensive.
Yeah.
Is I tested something this summer that we had never done before to be able to grow our email and SMS list rolling into the holidays. And we ran from, I believe it was the beginning of June until the end of August, paid advertising for people just to give us their email to enter in a giveaway. We ended up giving away just over $1,400 worth of stuff, brand new Traeger grill, a bunch of grill your ass off.
And you
products.
built that email list up pretty big.
Yeah. You know, we had just over 20,000 contacts that we acquired through that. And we were able to do that and then also get the customers to purchase while they were waiting to figure out if they were winning on the giveaway through that. So you
got to spend this. I mean, it's kind of like one of those, you got to spend money to do these email collection things, such as giveaways. And people know what this is. It's nothing new. It's nothing that's like, oh my God, I feel taken advantage of. It's like, no, they're doing this because they want your email and they want to be able to hit you with advertisements, deals, things such as that in the future. And I tell our customers that too. It's like, look, we're not selling your email list. We're not giving it to anybody. It's strictly for us, because they know as well, we can't post anything Delta 8 related. Right. The moment we do, even CBD stuff now, they're cracking down on. So it's kind of like, that's another reason why I'm not going to put any money behind Facebook or Instagram. I was talking to Rumble, their ad team, like, you know, what are you sitting at? I was like, I'll be honest with you, right now I'm selling about $50K that I'm ready to throw at ad spend. I was like, but I can't find a platform that will let me do something like that. And it's like, so it's literally, they're losing money. They're wasting money. It's like, it's a stupid business move. This is federally legal, but they don't have anybody that's like up to par on that. And I think that if they actually had someone do a little bit of investigating to the CBD industry, they'd be like, okay, wait a minute. There's a lot of money here, especially in Delta 8. It's federally legal. Why don't we just let them advertise?
The problem is the size of the company to be able to do, you know, an audit like that. I mean, if they did a true audit and went through all that kind of stuff, it'd probably be like 5 years later. They're like, oh, hey, CBD,
it's worth
you
it,
can advertise. So it's like, well, weed is legal throughout the country now,
Yeah.
so good timing.
Well, that's the thing that kills me is I see these other CBD pages and actual pot pages literally selling it on their page, you know, just throwing to an offsite. And it's just like, how the fuck are they not getting banned?
It's
you
got to play the system, right? And that's the biggest thing, is you have to figure out what works for your brand and your audience. You know, we still get hit up all the time. I don't know why. It's always, we have a Steak and Whiskey political campaign t-shirt. Every time we do anything and I'm wearing it and it goes on Meta, it gets flagged for sex trafficking.
Oh, Jesus.
And I'm just like,
Steak and Whiskey.
Steak and Whiskey.
What is... I mean, if you're going to lure me to a van, that's the way to do it. I mean, fuck, Steak and Whiskey, you got me. I mean, you got me.
Yeah, so, I mean, maybe there is merit behind it. It just doesn't make sense to us.
I just don't see people luring kids with Steak and Whiskey. Like, hey, little guy, you want some Steak and Whiskey to come get in my van? Like, I don't see that.
But
they have such, to caveat to that, they have a lot of ridiculous double standards. Like stuff that it's kind of like, okay, y'all need to like get this fixed. This is ridiculous. Shit's getting flagged left and right. Even like hardcore censorship on Facebook. It's like it's getting flagged left and right. And so the advertising component of it for small businesses, it's just like you guys are like, it's sad to see. It's like there's some really incompetence going on right now. Real incompetence going on.
At the same time, like that's why you can't put all your eggs in one basket. And if you stop and think,
you got to diversify.
15 years ago, there wasn't a Facebook.
But how many businesses have been created off of social media alone through an access? Like, because say for example, I was thinking on the way to the office today. I was like, if you were to start a new company, a new business, would you strategically want to, start out through paid ads, through Instagram, is that, or trying to email capture collection? And it's just kind of like,
well, you can do both.
Exactly.
And that's one of the reasons why we switched this year to do a lot more of email captures versus focusing on actually getting a conversion, because you can only sell so many bottles of seasonings and be paying $20 to acquire a brand new customer.
Yeah.
Or can I build a amazing kick-ass ad, an amazing kick-ass landing page, an amazing kick-ass funnel that can get some people to convert every now and then, and pay 20 cents, 12 cents for an email?
Yeah.
Like if you look at the scale and your conversion rate, then you can actually scale up advertising like that with this current climate.
As long as you're seeing the conversion rate come through,
Right.
Because I started with Public Square, and we're working on some things with them, but like literally a basic package for advertising, we've made no sales, none. So it's kind of like, okay, well, we try and work together with some of these people, but if we're not seeing any sales generated from it, I'm not throwing money at an ad company or a new platform just because they lean in my political direction. It's like, if it still comes down to business, it comes down to dollars.
Yeah.
If I'm not seeing a return of my investment money, then I'm fucking done with you.
Yeah.
But the one thing I have seen is just Klaviyo. You're getting your bang for your buck, and more so. But the other thing that I wanted to bring up was we sponsor Gavin Newsom's podcast, and we've actually seen sales come out of that to where it's kind of like, we're not getting everything back that we pay into it, but we're also acquiring a lot of new customers, and hopefully we can retain them, because our customer retention is really good.
Right.
We're retaining a lot of our customers. So it's like a customer lifetime value is upwards of like $2,500 to $300 or $3,000. So it's like that's something that we take into consideration with a lot of what we want to throw ad money behind.
Yeah,
and you've done podcasts as well.
Right. No, and podcasts are a great return if you hit it right.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing is like
Right product for the right audience.
Correct.
Yeah.
And then once you hammer that down, you can really personalize it and then humanize all your marketing that you get from that. So whenever someone does come from his podcast, you need to be able to create a way to communicate with them, knowing that that they came from that podcast.
Right.
And
Yeah, because we created a landing page for him. Yeah.
Right.
Same thing.
And then I take it he has his own discount code.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so go listen to his podcast if you want it. You're not getting it that easy. But I mean, and that's something to where inside of email marketing, since you own the data, and that's one of the big things if anyone watching doesn't understand, like if you own someone's email, you're no longer having to pay Facebook, $20 to get this person's contact info. So as a business, if you're able to get that person to convert and you already own it, it's way cheaper.
Yeah.
Especially at scale, if you're doing it, 100, 1,000, 10,000 people. But for you, like, I would love to be able to go through and look through your account, and then, hey, whenever someone uses this discount code, let's send them through this email flow built up because we know their views and their actions because they came through this podcast. And now you can
segment that list of saying, hey, any kind of political advertisement, we can tag them because we know, because that's what we run into. Like, I read a really good review. I don't know if you saw, I posted it on Instagram yesterday.
No.
It's just an amazing review. This was from 10 months ago. I was on the flight back and I was just trying to look at some stuff for the business to see what we could improve on. And I saw this review from 9 months ago. It's from a Hayden Diamonds, clearly a fake name or a stripper, one of the two. It says, as much as I would like to support this business, the CEO is unfortunately very rude and has a habit of verbally berating, then blocking anyone he disagrees with in an attempt to publicly shame them. This practice has been observed many, many times over the years and cautioned by his customers, yet it continues due to the fact, anyway, it goes on and on and on. But the thing that I love about that is kind of like, and she gave me 2-star review. Like, why? I thanks, I guess. I like, it was supposed to be like 1 star, but she gave me 2 stars, which is fucking weird. But the thing is, like, somebody like that, they clearly do not like me for my political viewpoints and beliefs. So if we have customers that are, mainstream, non-political, I don't like merging my viewpoints with Shell Shock's viewpoints. I like keeping them separate. 100%. But at the same token, when you talk about personalizing emails to people, it's like, if we can do a political style thing, if we know they're coming from Gavin's podcast, we can hit them with a political style advertisement with Shell Shock because we're not going to ostracise them versus if I went,
And you can actually update the customer's profile inside of Klaviyo, and you can do that. Not only with just keywords, but responses. So there's different ways that you can acquire people's information. maybe via pop-up whenever they come to that landing page, or as they're checking out, you build it out inside the actual checkout funnel.
Yeah.
To where they can either opt in or opt out of, fucking Burke's political rants.
Yeah.
And then you can open up a whole entire new window right there. And all it is like, do you want political, style marketing?
Well, I
yes
like what
or
you
no?
told me last time, though. You said you told me that I need to view Klaviyo as its own money-making business of its own, because if I got banned from social media, which happens quite often, I still have Klaviyo to fall back on to regulate and help continue targeting my customers.
And that's one of the biggest things for a small business that so many people don't look at, right? We're so focused on like new customer, getting these sales and all this kind of stuff. But you have all these amazing people who have dedicated their time and money into your brand, truly trust your brand.
Yeah.
So if you treat those people right, that's going to increase your reorder rates, right? Your reorder versus your new customers that you're acquiring. And so the higher that you can have that, the better, because if 100% of everything gets turned off, right? No more social media.
Yeah.
You're not doing any in-person events. You're not doing public speaking. There is zero way for anyone to find out about your business.
Right.
If you have your email and SMS marketing on point,
You're good.
hey, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm going to, take this time and I'm going to figure out a new way
Yeah.
to acquire new customers. But for right now, we put in the effort and the foundation to where we are set.
Yeah. One thing we talked about before the show as well, it's with the shadow bans, the limiting of exposure of my social media, because I've pretty much lost all my social media. My YouTube's gone, Facebook's gone, Instagram's gone, just smaller accounts now. So now to reach outside of my audience, because we were already hitting this issue before I got banned and all that stuff, it's how do I expand our customer base outside of my following? And that's why I tell a lot of these social media influencers that have bigger followings than me, it's like, why are you repping other people's brands when you should start your own company? Start your own business. You've got the reach. You've got the straight go-to-market figured out right the fuck there. And you don't have to pay anything for it. There's no overhead.
Right.
But the one thing that we talked about before the show is that in order to achieve reaching out that outer bubble outside of mine is ambassadors. So we are going to be opening up ambassador programs from Shell Shock. And I'm not going, and I've talked about this before, we're not going for major influencers. We're going minor influencers, micro influencers that have like 5 to 10,000 followers because they are hungry, they're passionate, they want to make money, they want to have that residual income, which it makes perfect fucking sense. But ultimately, like we said before this, though, we're not going to be paying them to like, hey, post. It's going to be paid to them to share the giveaways so we can try and do email captures.
Right. You share the giveaways. You give them a commission based on their sales and everything like that. We actually do have one that's currently live right now. Grill your ass off. If you want to go ahead and, sell some ass and make some money. It's great. It's a great deal. No, but like that's a great way, right? You have to start thinking outside the box. And a lot of people just get so focused and narrowed into one form of acquiring new customers and they leave everything else on the plate. It's like we were talking about throwing either some like rack out samples or, even just postcards like, hey, let's do a swap. I'll give you 100 samples of Grill Your Ass Off. Give me 100 samples of your shit.
Which we do need to do that.
We'll throw it in each other's boxes. And then now someone who orders from Grill Your Ass Off all the time gets shell shocked and they're like, oh, fuck yeah, this is great.
Yeah.
Like I heard about
this. We can get them
but I never
high.
tried it.
You can give them the seasonings for their food.
Yes.
Which, before I forget, let's do this because, so I tried. So Jason, again, the site is grillyourassoff.com. Now, I'm not playing, folks. I got to shift into straight radio host mode. Here we go. No, but it's true. I've never lied to the listeners and never lied to the following about any products out there that I've endorsed. I've known Jason for years. His products stand up. I'm telling you, every time I grill a fucking steak, like I told my girl, I was like, we go to Ruth's Chris on Thursdays, usually after tango class. What are you talking about? I'm sorry. Their steaks are fucking amazing. Okay, we're fighting after this. Anyway. But no, we'll go there. And so, like, I love that steak, but I told her, it's like, no, I will make you one better, but I have to have your seasoning. And it's the charcoal, it's the gunpowder, and it's not actual gunpowder. And I know you can tell stories on people writing. It's like, it's actual gunpowder. Like, no,
is
it's
it
not
flammable? I got a gas stove. Like,
no. But that it turns the steak black, but it sears that motherfucker, and it's their seasoning in it, and it makes it so juicy. Folks, I'm not lying about this. That's my favorite one. It's the gunpowder, and then the smoked salts that you've got. I put the smoked salt.
Underrated.
Oh, bro. I put it in my mashed potatoes. I put it on my steak. I put it in my eggs. It's like, think of it like a smoked, you remember liquid smoke? But when it smells similar, but it actually has a good taste.
Yeah.
Because you have the whiskey,
There's no chemical aftertaste. So we actually take coarse ground sea salt, pretty much straight from the mine.
Yeah.
And then we get it and then we smoke it in house with whiskey barrel wood that we import from Tennessee. Like we do that. We also have a black cherry, which is a lighter fragrance, and then we have an alder wood. So not only are you going to get the aroma from it, you're going to get the taste like it's been smoked, and it's phenomenal. I mean,
You still have Code Burke active over there?
I don't know. You want to keep on talking?
Yeah. Anyway, this website is grillyourassoff.com. Now, he's also come out with barbecue sauces. He's got some hot sauces, which I'm going to try one here live.
Oh, you are?
Wait, is this the one I tried before?
Well, that's the barbecue sauce, but you just said you were going to try the hot sauce.
No, I'll try the barbecue sauce.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't want. I'm not, because we went to this like 2 weekends ago. He had an event up in Austin at the Chive Charities, and basically he was rolling out his new hot sauce, and this shit is no joke. It is hot, but it's good. It's very good. Now, I'm not a hot sauce fan. I like the whiskey salt. The whiskey salt is great, but Jason's checking for the code now. I believe Code Burke gets you 10% off.
15%
Oh,
off.
15%.
And it
off.
is active.
There you go. Use Code Burke, get you 15% off your order at grillyourassoff.com. I'm telling you, he's got a variety of amazing seasonings out there to include barbecue sauce. But what's this? What do we got in front of us here?
So, real quick before we jump into this, for anyone who ever thought like, man, is John lying? Like, has he ever lied about shit like this? Whenever John actually first reached out to me through Instagram and slid in my DMs, and I told
with a
him,
dick pic. Yep.
hey, look, I know it's small. My seasonings are really big. I will be more than happy to send you one for free, like all of our seasonings for free, man. Like that would be so amazing. And he told me, fuck off. I'm buying it for full price. If I like it, I'll share it. If I don't, I'm going to throw it in the trash.
Yeah.
That was literally verbatim the DM. And I remember sending it back to you. I was like,
hooked.
hey, can I give you a discount? And you checked out right as I was sending that. And I was like, oh, fuck. And then, yeah, here we are later. So
one of the best purchases, like because I used to be a huge fan of TexJoy steak seasoning out of Beaumont, Texas.
Because we're from Beaumont. Like,
yeah,
that's
exactly.
That's what you had whenever we were.
And I always loved TexJoy, but I'm telling you, and I hate saying this because I'm like one of those, like I'm a Dapper Dan man. Barbecue shit, men don't fuck around. Men, like you ever see like those people in like sports, like especially in baseball, they are very, very superstitious. When it comes to like grilling and barbecuing, you of all people know, I wouldn't say it's superstition, but you've got your go-tos. You know, if I'm doing chicken, I'm doing this. If I'm doing steak, I'm doing this. If I'm doing a slow cooked smoke rib, whatever, I'm doing this. With your seasonings, you've got your go-tos in every single one of them.
Right. And one of the coolest things is like every time I cook, I'm doing something different. And that's
you do a lot of cooking for the content you create. You've got a damn good job.
Thank you. Yeah.
Like, it's like food porn. You post this to TikTok?
Yeah, we're getting better at that.
Yeah,
so
the stuff you do with the creation, you should post that to TikTok. That's like some ASMR shit.
Paul's came on board, and he's helping me cover down a lot on that kind of stuff. Just because, our B2B side of things is growing, and that's really pulling a lot of my attention to continue to get us in more brick and mortar stores and spread across the country. We got 4 more states until we're in every single state in America. So a lot of really cool stuff. But the biggest thing right now, currently everything's under embargo, so we can't talk about what it is. But we do have.
That's why I'm letting you do the intro. I don't want to fuck it up because I know I will. I've seen me do it.
No, we have a new barbecue sauce. Everyone will know about it November 1st once we can talk about it. So if you want, feel free to sign up for our newsletter on the website at grillyourassoff.com. As well, you can check out all the recipes. We got a lot of really cool Halloween on there. But we are partnering with 2 different people on this barbecue sauce. Again, can't say anything right now, but it is.
These are big names too. These aren't small names. These are big names.
Yes, big names, big flavor. I've been in this for a hot minute now. I mean, in 8 days will be our 6-year anniversary.
Nice.
So,
nice. God, it's
fucking been, yeah, it went by fast, bro.
It has. I remember like the first time you came over and you made, what was it, caramelized bacon?
Yeah.
Oh my God, bro. That's when we took one of those big pictures where you had the Vietnam helmet on and stuff like that at the grill. It was like, still remember that picture, but my God, that bacon, it was the best bacon I had ever had in my entire life. It was like a caramelized bacon. Oh, so good.
Yeah. So, 2 amazing companies that we're partnering together with this on. Again, it'll come out November 1st. But it took a lot for us to get this recipe down, and we did a lot of R&D to like perfect this stuff. And like by far, this is my favorite barbecue sauce that we have ever came close to creating. So
well, let's try it out. All right. I'm gonna be doing a pinky dip with this.
That's totally fine. I
All
probably
right,
dip the
shake
tip
it
in
up. Shake it up just a little bit.
Oh, hang on.
Wait.
With it sealed, get a little closer to the mic with the shaking. One of that ASMR people to be
There
happy.
you go. People are like touching themselves with this right now. I know I will be later. All right, I'm gonna get a basic whiff of it. Oh shit, is that teriyaki? Teriyaki style?
No, not
No?
at all.
Okay, that's different. I like it. Not too sweet. That's like a perfect medium. Very little spice. Not very sweet. I mean, it is kind of, but not like overly sweet. I do like that.
Yeah, no, and with that, we wanted to go for that
Yeah.
very rich flavor, a little bit of sweet, a little bit of spice,
It's not overbearing. I like that.
but it's creamy on your tongue.
Yeah, you can
And
easily
then
put this on like
follows up with smoke.
some pulled pork. Yeah, that's perfect for that. That's like a nice in between to where you're not going too far in one extreme. I like that. Fuck, dude, that's good. I'd buy that.
Yeah.
I would 100%
Thank
buy
you.
that. What do you can you say the name of the product yet, or is that still under?
Still under
Okay,
embargo.
fair enough.
So
I'm just gonna go ahead and keep this.
Okay, that's
yeah,
fine.
Thanks, appreciate that. You don't have to have that back, do you?
no.
Okay, perfect. I'll give you some Delta 8 on the way out.
Okay, deal. It's a good exchange.
I'll get them high, you get them fed. How about that?
Yeah, there you go.
We were talking about having another party for our 3-year anniversary coming up, and I was like, I wonder if Jason would come down and grill again. We'll just get everybody high and fucking feed them. We're not. We just got too much shit going on. Black Friday's coming up. I'm gonna be out of state for Thanksgiving. Just too much shit on the agenda right now. But I do want to do another like big get together to where we like host a big party and
Why don't we throw it down together?
let's do it.
Like you saw how our party rolls. Like we can throw down and do it at the same time together.
I'm down.
And we'll do a fucking giant, shell shock and GYAO like
Fuck
customer
yeah.
appreciation party.
That's another thing I would suggest to a lot of these small business owners to link up with fellow small business owners. We've done work with K-Bar Soap Company, 18 Alpha Chronicles, Frontier Coffee Company, Red Clover Coffee, just various, and just helping them out. Like, because when you build that kind of community that you can go to, and just kind of have a lot of camaraderie. And like you said, put some samples in yours, put some samples in mine. Like I have where there's no conflict of interest. I'm cool with that. It's like, yeah, if we can get them, send him like 2,000 samples, send his customers do the thing, same thing for us. Because you have sample packets of your seasoning and stuff like that. We could even, that's another thing. We can even run like an email campaign. I was like, hey, the next 2,000 orders get free grill your ass off seasoning samples, yada, yada, yada.
Right, 100%. And that all falls back to, it's not what you have, it's who you know. Because at any point in time, and that is one thing I will attest. I know like the bro vet community and the vet community can be
Yeah.
toxic as shit.
Oh, very, yeah.
It can also be fucking amazing.
It can.
Because whenever I had my first 2 businesses before I went in the military, the kind of camaraderie that we have through the good veteran-owned businesses
Yeah.
is second to none. You try and do
Those
that
are the
shit.
ones that aren't really too much of the bro vets. Those are more of the, okay, we've grown out of this phase. Now we have to be serious. Like we have companies and businesses to run. We can't be pulling this dumb shit like we were before.
Yeah, but I mean, like in the civilian world, if you go and try and reach out and do that same kind of communication with other business owners, it's not there.
Yeah.
It like what
Yeah.
like the amount of info that we share and all that kind of stuff. Even just like all the stuff that we did on the giveaway we did earlier this year. It's like, hey guys, like here's my Klaviyo. This is exactly how you do this. This is why we're achieving this objective right here. And
It
it's
just makes
like,
sense. Why have enemies? I'd rather have allies. I'd
Yeah.
rather have allies in this. Even other CBD companies and businesses. Like I'm not trying to like put them out. There's again, like what was it Tupac said? It's like there's this table. Not Tupac. He said, I want to see you eat, just not at my table. Not like that, but it's just like this table's big enough for everybody to eat at. Like there's 350 million motherfuckers in America. There's no reason we should be slitting each other's throats over some of this stuff. That's why I don't mind working with these various smaller veteran-owned coffee companies. Like, look, you all have great coffee.
Yeah.
I'm not going to choose one or the other, but no, I like that. Building more allies and then sharing information and stuff like that, 100%.
yeah, no, I mean, Charlinda with Mutt Sauce, like she's absolutely amazing. And she's a direct competitor whenever you look at it in that perspective. Me and her talk all the time.
Yeah.
We help share like strategies and shit like that. And because there is enough money out there for
yeah.
all of us to be happy.
Yeah, 100%. If the IRS would just stop fucking taking it, that'd be great.
Yes. But if you do decide to start a seasoning company and come after my customers, then be prepared.
Oh my God. But anyway, well, we got to wrap this up because I've got a doctor's appointment after this. But again, It's Jason from I was going to say Shell Shock, grillyourassoff.com. Did you have anything else you want to talk about or tap on while you're here? Because I know you said you had some things in your head you wanted to get out for the podcast.
Not a ton. I mean, we covered a lot of it. It's really, you know.
Oh, and by the way, that Klaviyo thing that Jason keeps talking about, which we use as well, it has its own university. It teaches you how to actually use this. Now, it's a longer one, and it's broken down in very small and easily digestible clips. I was like, but if you want to use Klaviyo, and this is not sponsored, we don't get paid for them. It's just, it works, folks.
Yeah.
It works. Go to it, check it out.
It's actually free.
Yeah, it's
underneath
free.
a certain size of
like the information's there, folks. We're not trying to sell you shit. Like we just want to see you succeed. So if you're a small business owner, go do it. Jason's been
Shopify, Klaviyo, ShipStation. I mean, if you're not doing CBD, or selling guns or knives or anything like that, but literally Shopify, Klaviyo, which I mean now Shopify has their own email marketing, but as you grow, Klaviyo is still hands down better. And then you can do your own shipping through Shopify. But as you grow for the automations and everything, ShipStation, like those three tools right there, you can get so fucking far. Yeah. And then just start leveraging social media. Like,
and Shopify is so easy. It's literally plug and play. You can build your own website. They make it. I mean, fuck, if I can do it back when I was doing ITA gear and shit like that, like, dude, anybody can fucking do it. But unfortunately, we have to use WooCommerce because, well, I've been told by some people we're working with that might change as far as CBD subscriptions via Shopify. If it does change, we might be moving over to Shopify.
And I'm going to be super excited because she is absolutely amazing.
Yeah. We're working with a new SEO strategist and things such as that from Jason's recommendation, because Jason has worked with them before. And that's how you do a lot of networking and marketing, is like, you know, people saying, I've done this, I haven't, because I'm working with True Social, Rumble on advertising. If it does not work out, I'm going to tell Jason, don't fuck with it. Well, then again, you might be different because we're doing CBD, spices and seasonings. That's totally different.
Yeah, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's just your marketing. It's like, how have you built your actual ad? Yeah. How have you built your funnel? How have you built your landing page? Like everything that comes down to it. Yeah. So, you know, at the end of the day, it's all selling something. It's how well have you presented the pitch and how hard can you close?
Yeah. That's true. And then you're creative. Like, how good is your graphic? Is it going to catch them? Because I've been told that, you know, some graphics on True Social and Rumble are completely different than Facebook and Instagram. You got to hit them with a more, hate saying it, but a cheesier style graphic that actually gets their attention. It's mainly like top 3 colors that people buy or people recognize. You throw that in there, hitting like a play button in there. Even if you can't hit it, just gets them to a redirect to the page and shit like that. So it's learning the system, seeing what works.
And that's what, you know, we were talking about how we did the big giveaway this summer. You know, all of our other paid advertising videos normally crush it. So I mean, fuck, one of the videos that I created for that ad, actually this was for a separate thing. We were running a different test funnel. I spent like half a day like writing out a script and like filming like 3 different videos. One of the videos, like I put a condom behind a piece of brisket and I was like, are you tired of like, you know, dried out fucking nasty brisket, and like took a bite and like stretched it out. So it's like I put a lot of work and a condom into it. They sucked. Yeah. The videos fucking tanked on converting, which never happens for us. I did 1 image graphic for it, destroyed. Hands down. So it's like you have to play around with those creatives and test, and that's one of the biggest thing is like every week on Thursday, I have a reminder inside my calendar. And inside of my task manager, I have notes on every single thing. And it's to review all of my A/B testing, whether that be on top of the funnel traffic, middle, bottom. What
he means by A/B testing is you run one campaign one way, run another one that mirrors it just a little different a second way.
Even to the point of like, hey, let's do a product image, this right here, with a white background, or me holding it in this shot right here. Yeah. Let's see which one has a higher conversion rate on it. So you can do something simple as that, or saying like, hey, we saw you just bought some Rack Out gummies. Do you want, you know, post-purchase through an OTO, a one-time offer funnel? You can say, hey, do you want another one of these for you or a friend because we know you love these so much? Or
and you can target them
with that work at full price, or hey, well, 10% off work. And it's testing that kind of stuff because 9 times out of 10, you can sell them exactly what they bought at the same price and they will be happy. Yeah. And you can get that trigger and save the money versus a discount. So if you can continue to just test, you build something, you test it, you review, and you retest it. And like 90% of transactions happen above the fold.
Yeah.
So whatever lands on that page right there. So a lot of times what we'll do is we'll change the background on the website.
I know one thing that I've learned. I don't know why we didn't do this sooner, which we should have, but was doing the money back guarantee for our gummies. I don't think there's any companies out there in the CBD Delta 8 industry that are doing that. I mean, if they are, I'm certainly not aware of it. I mean, they probably are, to tell you the truth. I looked at a various different bunch of them, and it's like, well, there's a reason more times than not. If somebody's not doing something, there's with good reason. So, because I even talked about doing a like local DFW delivery of Shell Shock, where we could literally, you order it, we'll deliver it to you. And then I really thought about it. It's just like, wait a minute. I was like, if I did it in the Tesla, I'm only paying for electricity. It's not that much, but even still, they would still pay the same in shipping to have it done overnight and get it the exact same time. Versus if we have to upcharge them like $10, they're not going to pay that.
Yeah,
like they'd be stupid to. So you have to do things like that. It's kind of like, if nobody's doing this, why? Why is that? So, but when we implemented the money back guarantee, dude, we started making way more sales because people are like, okay,
they're comfortable.
It's saying that, okay, because I know this shit works. I know it works. It's a matter of how do we get it in their hands? Like, it's like a drug dealer. If I can just get it in your hands, you'll see that it actually works. So it's like, okay, money back guarantee. It's like, I got a money back guarantee on all of our gummies. When we get some people are kind of like, I didn't feel the rack out. Oh, well, here's your money back. Yeah. Send us the gummies back. Here's your money back. Fair enough. Because what I don't want to have happen is like people trying to take advantage and be like, oh, well, hey, I tried like 20 of them. It's like, okay, bro, no. Not playing that game.
Right. No. So. And that's what you're instilling trust inside the customer. And a lot of small businesses, to look at it from a business perspective, they're scared because of that. Like, well, if I say that it's a guarantee and then I get a whole bunch of people that turn around and, try and fuck me over.
Yeah.
Like, then I'm screwed. But in all reality, like, it's less than 1% of people who
nobody's used it yet.
Like that.
We've had this thing implemented for over a month. Not a single person's asked for a refund because, number one, again, the product works.
Right.
But again, like you said, though, it's to create that comfort to where it's like, this day and age with inflation, the recession, shit like that coming, people they don't have the time nor the money to spend money like $60, to some people, that's not a lot of money. But when you're living paycheck to paycheck and your gas went from $400 to like almost $600 to $700, yeah, you're pinching pennies now.
That's a ton.
It's a lot of money. So it's kind of like, well, why am I? It's a gamble,
right?
Why I'm going to gamble $60 on if this works or not? Well, if I come in and say, hey, if it doesn't work, here's the refund policy. I'll get your money back. It's like, okay, well, I got nothing to lose now, so I'll buy this thing for helping me sleep.
No, and that's such a great tactic to get that first time customer to convert, but also. Yeah. Along with that, to get those first-time customers to feel comfortable converting is using user-generated content with that and showing them
I'm glad you
your
said that.
VIP customers and everything along that.
When we really want to start seeing sales increase at the beginning of this, like we started posting our customer reviews. Unfortunately, Instagram started taking a lot of them down because it contained Delta 8 or CBD stuff. But the reviews are there. And it's like,
what you do right there is you just put bleep over it.
Dude, yeah. We're so close to losing our Shell Shock account on Instagram again. We're walking really easy on this, but yeah, we've bleeped out the Delta 8 name, the logo. Those do make it up for a little while, but even still, sometimes they pull it down because they don't even know what fucking standards they got going on over there. It's so back and forth.
We had to do that on Amazon.
Yeah, you told me about that.
To be able to run any paid advertising. Yeah, so we actually did like the old typewriter style font of just bleep over it, and we actually had a huge increase in conversions.
That's crazy.
People thought it was hilarious.
Yeah,
and I'm over here fucking pissed off.
I want to ask you about that because this is something that I've had to battle with people on over and over and over again. You have a very personalized business. When you look at your logo, okay, look, let's just be honest, that's not mainstream.
No,
this is a brand that's going mainstream. And people out there, and I've been subject to this, and I have to break this habit sometimes of trying to be corporate. We're not corporate. Each business, Shell Shock has humor. We have dick emojis all over the goddamn place. You've got the ass. You've got all this stuff. It's cartoonish, yet it's believable. It's fun. It's a fun brand.
Right.
And people need to get out of that mindset of you've got to create like the perfect logo. It's guys like, no, have some fun with it. It needs to be professional. Don't get me wrong. But what's your brand? What is your thing? What's your shtick? So for you, massive success with this because it's like you've literally proven you can do whatever the fuck you want to do and make it work.
Right. As you continue to grow and like we're working with bigger and bigger like corporate companies and things like that, obviously certain like things have to come a little bit more PC, but like you stand true to your brand and your value. And, with us, it's continued camaraderie through good ass food. That was, the whole entire foundation of it is like, if I'm going to do something, let's bring humor into it because humor is what got us through all of our dark times. And building this company and utilizing humor, talking with the guys that I was in with, cooking the food, getting everyone back together. Like that's what got me through my dark time. Because whenever I got out and I was in college, I was just like, this is not what I want to do. I envisioned, the next 20 years of my life being in the military because that's what I always wanted as a kid. And then I had to medically get out.
Boy, you dodged the bullet.
Yeah, no,
you dodged the bullet.
Amen to that. So,
oh my God.
and so we stay true to that, right? And we continue to be able to grow with that. And like the people who don't want to sell it because it says the word ass, hey, cool, you're not our customer.
Exactly.
Thanks.
That's not your. That's all. When people leave those negative reviews, like you never would have bought from me anyway, so go fuck yourself. I really don't care.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing is like people worry, it's like you're gonna lose customers. Like, here's the deal. Like, I don't give a shit because people, if they're so easily offended, they're probably not gonna like my brand anyway. That's fine with me. But I do feel like when we started going into business, one thing I will never allow to have happen is customer abuse. Like, you're not going to abuse my employees. You will not. If we're wrong, we own that shit. I was like, but if we're not and you want to be a smart ass, I'll tell you to go fuck yourself. I have literally written response emails. This is John Burke, CEO. Go fuck yourself. I don't care. Like, I really don't care because I feel that people these days, or I think it's coming to an end, but I think there was a time to where the customers really took that the customer's always right and like tattooed that shit to their forehead and then went into these businesses trying to get over on them or just be rude for the sake of being rude. It's like, look, I don't need your money that bad. I'm not going to get on my knees to beg you. It's like, it's just not going to happen. Like, you buy this because you like the quality product. But when people talk about it, it's like, you're going to lose customers. And I'll gain a lot of customers because I posted that review and I told her, go fuck yourself. It's like, that's not true at all. It's like, you just don't want me speaking my mind. And the comments of people, and that wasn't the intent, but the comments are like, bro, I'm going to support you now. It's like, I would rather you support me because you actually like the product. But it also goes to show you're going to develop a very loyal audience that because you stand up for yourself for what you believe in, like, I will buy from them.
Well, it's a lot of the Karens that go to these big corporations and, for a company that size, that little, 0.01% of people, it's not worth their time to battle that kind of shit.
Yeah.
But whenever you're inside of a small business, like, fuck yeah. Let's go to fucking war. You want to fucking say some shit? Let's say some shit. Because,
dude, I get trolls on those reviews all the time.
Yeah, we've had one of the things as we were building out our retail presence, we needed to reestablish mapping policies. So we were changing some, not the actual cost that the customer was paying for on the website, but adding in some compare app pricing to enforce mapping policies. And one of our customers wrote in and he was like, hey, yo, I saw that you did this on the website. Like, this isn't cool. And I was like, what's not cool? And he was like, well, you put this price here. And I said, is that the price that you're paying for it? And like, he had this giant like back and forth, and to the point to where like he sent me like a 3-paragraph like fuck you letter.
Yeah.
So I turned around and I sent him back a 3-paragraph, very professional fuck you letter. And he came back and he said, hey, look, like, I was wrong. I'm sorry. Like,
wow,
I was out of place. Like, you're 100% right on that. And he's still a customer to this day.
That's awesome.
And it's just like,
that's rare to see, but that's awesome.
Dude, like, the fact I got a response on that, I was like, oh man, because I got done writing it and I'm just like, well, just lost this guy. Never gonna fucking see him again.
That's one of those, like, you type it out like 10 times, delete 10 times, like, motherfucker.
I know, and that's what, like, as a business owner, you have to like manage the actual balance of how much time do you put into that.
Yes.
Because like you said, that is a very, 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 whether it be a call out fuck you, a professional fuck you, or hey, let me suck your dick for a minute and make this over. Like, you have to deliver that message perfectly because it's coming from a business owner and it's not a customer.
I had someone that said that when it comes to this kind of stuff, you don't kiss ass, you eat ass. And I disagree with that because I feel like when people look at a strong figurehead, a strong leader, a strong CEO, whatever the case may be, and they say like, look, that guy's an asshole, but he's fair. And if he runs his business the same way, I'll support it because that's like one of those things. And here's the thing. There's really nothing that's like so dramatic in business that like the CEO's behavior, whatever, is going to like impact their business in regards to you literally like a product, you click checkout, that's all there is to it.
Yeah.
But they also should know, like, if that CEO knows, like, well, if we fuck something up, we're going to make it right. And they have that faith in that, they will, because if I saw that in the business, if I saw that in you, which I do see, it's like, yeah, if something's fucked up, hit Jason up, he's going to make it right.
Yeah.
100%.
And that's, customer comes first.
Yeah, 100%. We send out so many freebies. Like, sometimes like the mail will fuck something up. It's like, all right, you know what? Send them a freebie. It's on us because they have no control over it. We have no control over it. It's the fucking mail system. But I don't want to lose that customer.
Right.
Like, they're out $60 and the USPS just going to fuck them around, so it's kind of like, I'd rather have them for life. Let's throw them a freebie. Let's show them that we love them. We appreciate them. And when you have that back and forth like that, that really does build like solid customer relationships.
No, because that the postal system, they just
Jesus,
suck,
I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you.
But like, if you lose out on that and then that customer says that and, you go and try and file a claim, which 99% of the time with the post office never actually pulls through.
Yeah.
and you're at a break even by sending the customer another package. And it's like, cool, we didn't make any money on this transaction. But what you did was you created a lifetime customer that will build to that. Your CLV, what you said
brand
earlier,
loyalty is another one. Like brand loyalty, that event I went to, and yours as well. Like, your shirts kick ass, by the way. I got to get you to do our shirts because like your fucking designs are amazing.
Thank you.
I get questions all the time because I love wearing your shirts. Like, whose is that? It's like, oh, it's grillyourassoff.com. And I find myself saying that because number one, you're my friend, but number two, I love the brand. People like advertising brands that they actually love. And so we get that a lot. So that event I went to, that wedding, I met a few people that followed me. It's like, dude, I love your shit. Like, your shit works for me. I'm so grateful for it. It's like I tell all my friends about it. And it's like, dude, thank you. Like, thank you for doing that. That means the world to us, that that word of mouth, that goes a long way.
No, fact.
So when you get brand loyalty like that, and they love supporting your brand, that's the shit that goes a long way.
It's humbling, as a business owner. And then as well, like, it's so amazing to be able to take that back to your team that busts their ass every day with you and be like, this is the direct feedback. We were at the Chive for our customer appreciation party, and one of our customers there came up to me and he was like, hey, I don't want to be that guy. Can we get a selfie? My dad really wanted to make it, but he wasn't able to make it today. And I was just like, is he still awake? Let's FaceTime him.
Yeah.
And like, they were beyond ecstatic, but I was the happiest person there. I was like, this is fucking
it's
amazing.
cool as fuck,
It's humbling as fuck. Like, I mean, 8 days, it'll be 6 years, and like fucking just like
and
that little FaceTime. It's like, holy shit, like this is cool. You
think you're ever gonna sell Grill Your Ass Off, or you get a roll with it?
I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
As of right now, trajectory, we're having too much fun doing this shit.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work,
but it's a challenge though. It's that, I don't know. I like the idea of like, because our business model is this. It's controlled chaos. Like, it's controlled fucking chaos. And I love that because we have some employees that come in here. It's like, it needs to be dressed right. And people would think me as the owner, it would be that way. It's like, no, a lot of this is like, we're going to throw random shit against the wall. We're going to see what sticks. And we do real life A/B testing. It's like, okay, did that work? No, fuck it. Let's do this.
Yeah.
And we've tried some things. Like, we tried cutting the 1500 milligram in half to 700 or 750, whatever, because of pricing. It didn't work. Like, we haven't had a lot of people buying it. It's like, but you know what? At least we tried. Now we know.
Correct.
Now we know. And we didn't lose anything. I mean, we spent some money on some labels, but that's literally about it. But you got to try shit like that. Yeah. Heck, one of our ex-employees didn't even want to try Delta 8. And I was like, no, we're going to do it. And that's a top-selling product now, Delta 8 and Delta 9. But if I had listened to that fucking idiot, it's like we never would have experimented with this, and we never would have taken off as fast as we have.
Yeah, no, and that's, it comes down to like what's your actual values and what do you get pleasure out of? Yeah. It's like pleasure versus happiness.
Oh, bro, exactly. That's why I kind of like when I was gone this weekend, I miss being here because it's like I miss doing the show. I love doing the podcast, but also I kind of like making sure like what's going on around here. Like I'm not in everybody's business. I got an operations manager for that. It's like, but at the same token, I like being here to where we can like sit here and strategize. Like, okay, what issues are we dealing with? How do we overcome this? I think the military definitely set us up for that, to where it's like you're not looking at it like, well, let's give up. It's like, no, how can we figure out a plan B? What's another way around this?
Right. And it's always being one step ahead of everything and just like strategizing for it. And that's why, like, whenever you're not stressed, something's probably about to be really fucking bad.
Yeah. Bro, when they were talking about banning Delta 8 in Texas, like, fuck me. It's like, we got to start thinking of some off the wall shit here, like move up to Oklahoma. Like, I don't know. Yeah. But luckily they didn't. So, but yeah, it's crazy. Well, brother, I appreciate it. Again, this is Jason from Grill Your Ass Off on Instagram, Facebook, also grillyourassoff.com. Seasonings, barbecue, jerky. By the way, you've got a lot of great jerky out there.
Jerky, smoked salts. Biggest thing right now is November 1st. Tune in. All social media platforms. If you subscribe to our email newsletter, you'll probably get a drop a little early. Cough, cough. November 1st, like...
Oh, I want to tell you about this real quick. I want to get your opinion on this. Read another article. It talked about Black Friday. We're not doing Black Friday we're going to back it up a week. We're going to do a week-long Black Friday, almost. Because what they're saying in these articles is that people are starting to jump on this much earlier now because everyone is waiting for Black Friday to spend. Hit them early.
Yes.
Get the money first. I hate saying it like that, but you know where I'm going as a small business owner. Get the sales first, because essentially it's prioritization. It's spending prioritization on customers. So it's like, hey, I know for a fact I need to get this, 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 and this. You hit them first, you get the upfront purchase immediately versus having to wait and sit and risk like, oh, I don't have money for it anymore.
Right. And that's like, that's a good way to combat a lot of these giant retailers. Yeah. And one of the things too, like, is breaking out your actual, to go back into like email fucking nerd marketing, breaking out your actual email segments and then flows based on certain definitions. So like, we're doing a win back and a warm up starting November 1st, or actually, I don't think it's, I don't remember the exact date. I've been staring at calendars a lot recently. So, but, you know, like we know exactly, hey, we need to warm these customers up. Because they've never bought from us, but we have all their data because we've acquired it over time. So let's see if we can't get them to convert with a crazy fucking good deal.
Yeah.
A good solid 5 weeks before Black Friday. And then that way, as we get closer to Black Friday and they have the product in hand and then they have, you know, the incentive that we sent with that product, they can turn around and reuse it during Black Friday.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, we have a win back. Okay, these customers haven't bought from us in the last, you know, 65 to 90 days. Let's give them a great incentive to preemptively give them to use for Black Friday.
And you can, again,
by doing that,
you can also target these flows. I mean, you can create these flows and essentially just set it up on through Klaviyo.
Yeah. So, you know,
and put all this information, it does it for you.
You take a few hours. Like we, all that we're doing right now is finalizing graphics for our whole entire, you know, win back, warm up, Black Friday, Cyber Monday extended, all that kind of stuff. All of our marketing for it to where whenever it comes to that time, Klaviyo, you still can't schedule a flow based on a date. So whenever it does come that time within the week, all I have to do is hit back populate and then walk away.
It's fucking crazy.
And the marketing's already, the big hard work is already done. And then we can move on to the next objective.
That's awesome. That's freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm so happy for you, bro. I really am. So proud of you.
Yeah,
like,
thank you. No,
I love the fact that you're back here teaching me now because there's just so much shit that I'm not good at. Like I know, like for me, our business model setups where I'm growing the podcast because with the podcast, we're also getting sponsors here soon. We got some people wanting to sponsor the show, but we sell our own product.
Yeah.
As it grows, this helps us sell the product. The more people that tune in because they like the politics, they like to talk, they like the banter, they like the business. We get a lot of great feedback when you come on the show. But also we stand for our own products to where we pay other podcasts, we do our own. And that's one thing, kind of like how Black Rifle has their podcasts and stuff like that. It works when you have an audience and they want to listen to what you have to say. Why are you not repping your own shit?
No, 100%. And that's like, you know, one of the things that we're looking at doing too is like doing a podcast and then slowly growing out that way and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, hopefully most likely next year. Again, November 1st, my time's going to be tied up just a wee bit. So, yeah, we're I love it. I mean, the podcast is a great way to get new customers as well.
100%.
Someone's going to say, oh, fuck, hey, listen to this fucking the show. It's amazing. And send it to their buddy. And then their buddy's going to get it. Hey, have you tried Shell Shock? No, I haven't yet. All right, let's place an order.
It's definitely a serious strategy that a lot of these influencers could utilize because, like, look, if you've got a loyal following, especially in the political spectrum, like, Jesus, like, that's the most toxic one there is.
Yeah.
So if you have people listening to your show, well, clearly they want to hear what you have to say for a reason. But then when they find out that you own a brand, like some of that, when I posted that review and I tagged Shell Shock Wellness, there was like 3 or 4 people like, I didn't even know you owned that, but now I want to purchase. Like, yeah, man, I rep it all the time, but I'm so shadow banned. It's like, okay, we'll get them over to the podcast because they won't shadow ban the podcast. Get them here. Let's get them listening and then keep plugging Shell Shock and stuff like that.
Yeah. Just know that if you do pull the trigger to start a business, it is not easy.
Fuck no.
It is not. No. And whenever you think you've made it, you haven't.
No.
Not even fucking close.
Every month we look at our top line, bottom line. We're just like, okay, we need to, because after or with the inflation and recession, we are not nearly, well, we're close. We're getting back to where we were before this time last year in sales. But yeah, you're right. Some days, like you're literally, even in hours, like I'm on top, I got it. Yeah. And then it's just like, fuck, well, we're going bankrupt. So,
and you know, back to the military thing, I think that prepped us very well because there were certain days in the military to where it's like, dude, if I just make it to the next meal, I'm going to be good.
Yeah.
I just got to make it till here and I'll know I'll be able to make it through the fucking day.
Yeah.
And like sometimes it's like that and you know, entrepreneurship and stuff like that. But that also like goes back to, you know, our values. Like my values and my passion is freaking driven off this shit.
Yeah.
And whenever I don't have it and I take that time off like a vacation, I go fucking nuts.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, dude, the only thing I want to do is go back and get in the fucking grind.
Yeah, I know, but that's for me. It's like I develop a team that I know I can rely on because I'm going to do a lot more traveling here soon because it's like, okay, I've made this money. What do I want to spend it on? I'm going to go travel. I want to go see the world. I want to go see other cultures that I don't have to fight. I want to go do shit like that. So it's like I got a good team here. And it's also a blessing to have a good partner like Josh that knows what the fuck's going on. He can run this thing as well. But yeah, I get it. Like you miss the grind. You miss being there. You miss seeing the stats. You miss seeing what's going on, tracking everything. I get it. Makes perfect sense. But all right, we gotta end this bad boy.
No.
I'm sorry to keep interrupting, but I keep thinking of new shit. Like I gotta ask you because it's
I know
you're
every
so
time we
fucking
get
busy.
together, it's like this. So
yeah, you're so busy though because it's kind of like every time you're in Dallas, like come in and do the podcast, but you got a lot of shit going on in your life.
yeah,
Which is a good thing. It's a great thing.
no, it is. It's humbling. We have an amazing team, and I appreciate you having me back on this podcast, and thank you to everyone who's watching. If you want any business insight, I can't promise you everything underneath the sun, but shoot us a DM on Grill Your Ass Off and tell them, hey, I'm here for Jason, and shoot your questions over that way. I love to be able to help out anyone to not waste $100,000 and thousands of dollars like I have.
That's no joke. That is no joke.
Yeah.
Like you've made a lot of lessons. It's like you've learned a lot, made a lot of mistakes. We all have. And that's why when people want to even I've paid you to consult. It's like, I'm paying you because you have the experience. You've made the mistakes. You know what works. It's like, you're guaranteed you're going to get your ROI on this, which we were the first fucking time you came in and you set up our Klaviyo, that email list alone made us over $10,000 and that already paid for your consulting fee. And I was like, Jesus, I was like, that's probably the best move we've ever done. That's the best move was get into Klaviyo.
No, and that's humbling because you helped me out so much from the fucking get go.
What you should do is start a fucking consulting business and you'd be good at it. It's in the word. That's right. Yeah, that's right. There you go.
Yep.
So there you go. That's awesome. All right. Again, his website, folks. You can also find him on Facebook, Instagram, on Twitter and TikTok.
Yes, we just don't really do anything on Twitter.
It is grillyourassoff.com. I say again, grillyourassoff.com. This is Jason here. And again, code Burke will get you 15% off. If you're not doing anything after this podcast, go check it out. It's a really good product lineup. The stuff tastes incredible. Now, do be warned, when it says hot, it's fucking hot. This is not a joke. It's not one of those it's going to know. It's fucking hot.
That one's not out yet.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
that one was kind of like, Jesus Christ. That is some hot shit. People that really love spices, they're going to love this shit.
Yeah,
I'm a bitch. I'm a bitch when it comes to spices. I can't.
I'm not, and it's too much for me. But that'll come out soon.
Yeah.
Thank you again for having us on, and I hope to see everyone November 1st.
Absolutely. Again, that is grillyourassoff.com. We'll be back later, folks. I got to go to this appointment. We'll be back for the next stream of today to cover the news of what's going on with PayPal. And Joe Biden said what again? Who fucking knows? This guy's out of it.
It's prostate time.